I want to talk about corporate secrets and how I don't get it. And what brought this to mind was I was looking at my video games, my PS3 games, and I was wondering, is the PS4 backwards compatible? I couldn't remember. I don't think it is. I'd have to look it up. And then I was thinking about how fucking weird it is that backwards compatibility is ever not a thing. Like, why would it not be able to play my PS3 games? That is completely fucking asinine. Just like how it was asinine that the PS3 couldn't play PS2 games, even though I think it could play PS1 games, which is weird. But I was just thinking about how fucking asinine and stupid that is. And then I thought, well, why is that the case? Like, why don't they make it backwards compatible? Because on the surface, it seems like an obviously good idea. You sell me a new console that doesn't have any fucking games on it yet, and you tell me, well, you can play your old games on it, and also it's got a better interface, and I'll go, done, sold. Because as soon as I had the PS4, you know, I bought it probably a year and a half into its existence, maybe. I don't know how long it's fucking been out. But once I had it, what struck me the most that I loved about it is the interface. It just feels good to use. And I was never into the PS3's interface. I don't know why. It felt clunkier, it felt slower, a little bit more confused. I just didn't really know my way around it all that well. But with the PS4 interface, I was like immediately got it and was way into it. And like started buying stuff on the eStore and shit like that, which I've never done on a console before. Well, I mean, now I've gone back and done it on something. Like, now that the PS4 taught me how to use other consoles more. Like, I understand their shops and shit a little better now that I've learned how to do it on the PS4. But in any case, if this thing could just play my PS3 games, I would not need a PS3. I would not need a PS2. I'd get rid of those, and I'd just play the PS4 and, like, play my old games on it. Seems like such an obvious selling point. So why isn't it? There must be a reason. Maybe it's a hardware limitation. Maybe they literally can't. Like, maybe it would take too many extra components to make it work. Maybe it's a licensing issue. They're not allowed to put these games on the new console. Like, there's too many things tied up in it. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons it could be. My question is, why don't they tell us? Because by not telling us, all we see is, you've made a stupid decision. How the fuck could you fuck up this badly? And we're gonna shit on them relentlessly forever, and all they would have to do is come out and say, hey guys, we can't do it for this reason. And maybe we would think it was a bad reason. Maybe we'd be like, that's stupid. But even if we do, the odds of us, like, understanding, I feel like, go up. Like, telling us nothing, we're just gonna assume the worst, that you're stupid and you made a bad product. At least if you explain it at all, at least your stans will defend you. You know, at least the fanboys will fucking go, oh, well, they couldn't do it because of this. It's because of this. Like, oh, it's a licensing issue. They can't do it. It's a licensing issue. And they'll fucking use that in arguments, you know, to defend you. What possible incentive could there be for not saying? What could there be? And then I thought about it. It's really just, that's what corporate culture is. Everyone tries to keep everything close to the chest. They don't want to let you in. They don't want you to know. You don't need to know. You don't need to know. It's none of your business. But why? Why have that mindset? And the only reason I can think of for wanting to do that is if you're planning to dick people over. Like, if part of your business plan is to fuck people in some way, then you can't reveal that. You can't reveal the cards. Or maybe it's because the people you're associated with want to fuck people, and therefore your hands are tied. And that got me, like, I really think that might be what the corporate culture is. It's that there's, like, some people who are doing something fucky, and you have to work with them. And therefore, they're going to make you sign NDAs, and you're not going to be able to share stuff. I wonder how much of it, though, like, how many companies are even doing anything that needs to be covered up? Like, if they were all just open, if it would even change a goddamn thing, or if it would even improve things. One of the conversations I was having with Miles at when we were all drunk, bar hopping, he started ranting about how everyone's wrong about the idea that other companies are outbidding them for shows. He was like, everyone keeps saying that Amazon outbid us, which is incorrect. And then he was saying that's not why we didn't get Made in Abyss for instance. He said that there were some, I think he said there was one show that they did outbid them on, but like, he said that's not why we didn't get Made in Abyss. They didn't outbid us. It had to do, and then I don't remember this whole rant because I was really drunk, but he started explaining all these weird package deals and stuff and like shit that went on with the Japanese companies that prevented them from being able to buy Made in Abyss. And when he was explaining this, I was thinking, well, clearly it frustrates you that people are getting that wrong. Clearly it frustrates you that nobody understands the backroom of this business and they're all, you know, making videos saying this misinformation and going on it. Why not reveal it? And I think Miles would. I think if he was allowed to, he would reveal that stuff. Because it's, what the fuck does it affect him? Why does it matter? You know, but Crunchyroll can't do it. And why can't Crunchyroll do it? Because the Japanese companies don't want him to do it. Because Japanese companies are the worst about this shit. They're extremely close to the chest. They don't want anyone in on their secrets. But why? What do they have to hide? What are they so afraid of? Because I think that the relationship between consumers and corporations would improve dramatically if they at least had some transparency about this shit, especially entertainment corporations. I get why, like, Walmart wouldn't want you to know what's really going on, because part of their business model probably is drown out small businesses and move as many jobs overseas as possible. Like, stuff people don't want. Like, stuff you can't just tell people because they're going to go, oh, well, then I'm not going to buy from you anymore. But if you're a fucking entertainment company, like Crunchyroll, like, or an anime producer, like, what's the big secret? What are you afraid of people knowing about? If you're Sony, like, what is so damning about the reason you couldn't put in backwards compatibility that you can't just say it and then everybody shuts up about it forever? Just say, we can't do it because, you know, we don't have the licensing rights to every PS3 game to put it on the PS4. Like, we only signed an agreement that it could be on that console and it can't be on this one. That would be reasonable. Wouldn't surprise me if that's why. Would explain why. That would explain all virtual consoles on every system, because that's what I assume is why they're so sparse. Like, every back catalog library is like 10 fucking games, and you're like, why the fuck aren't they putting more shit on here? Well, it's probably only stuff that they have full rights to, that they can unequivocally just throw on the store and no one is going to argue about it, you know? I wouldn't be surprised if that's the only reason, is just licensing shit. It's unfortunate, but, like, you could just say that, and then people won't be mad at you for years. Maybe they just don't have their fingers on the pulse of it. Maybe they think not enough people care. Maybe they're right. Maybe not enough people care. But what harm does it do? I don't know. I don't get that corporate culture. I don't get people being that way. And that's why I can't participate in that. I mean, like I said, like I kept ranting on the last episode, I'm just a guy who posts funny videos on the internet. You know, like, for me, there's no secrets. And I do get it. For people in a position like me, I understand withholding information if you think that you are not going to do the job. I talked about this on the Toho Scarlet Curiosity Let's Play, where I was talking about how afraid I was watching Spoonie's downfall and seeing things that I could imagine happening to me. You know, just seeing this guy who takes all this money on Patreon and says he's going to make a movie, and then stops making content entirely for like an entire year. It has posted no progress on the movie. Posts no progress about anything. Just whines about his fans, bans them, blocks them everywhere, and fucking just fucks off and absconds. And I think if he was at all transparent, his fans would have been relenting on him. Fans are really fucking forgiving people. If you touch someone's heart, they will... Like, if you really resonate with somebody, if they feel a strong connection to you, they will follow you into the pits of hell. You know, I've seen it. Not only have some of my fans done it, like, you know, I completely switched what I was talking about at one point. Burned away a significant portion of my fan base. People who really cared stuck around. And I wasn't even doing anything shady, you know, I was just changing the way I do things. But, like, I've, you know, some of the content creators I know who have, like, bad problems in their everyday life or just mental health issues. Like, they can't be on the internet anymore. And, like, if you're clear about why you're doing it, your fans will understand. But I understand why some people are afraid, Because you look at someone like Spoonie, and he knows he's not going to deliver on what he promised. He knows he's going to fuck over these people. So how can he be honest about it? You know? And that's why I really try to fucking put myself out there and make sure you guys know everything that's going on with me. Like, if my content is in decline, or if there's even a question that it's in decline, I'm going to be open about it. I made a whole video saying, has my main channel gone downhill? Maybe, you know, like, some people think so. I can see why they'd think that. You know, I'm just like, yeah, it is what it is. Like, I'm telling you what's going on with me. I'm explaining to you why that might be the case. I fucking toured the country for 2 months. I got a girlfriend, moved into a new house. These things take away from my ability to, you know, make a main channel video. I've got that ability back now. Everything's going gravy now. I'm really happy about it. These podcasts have been rocking lately. I've been really into these 45-minute patron exclusive podcasts, because now that I've got it back. You know, I've got my life figured out, and I've got time again to just sit around and fucking stew on the world. All of these topics I'm talking about, I came up with today. Like, well, the world is small one I already had in mind. But, like, I just sat on the couch and, like, fucking wrote stuff down for, like, half an hour, and now I'm here. Like, that's the kind of shit that I couldn't do while I was touring the country. I needed that, you know, the sit on the porch and smoke time. And I've got it back. So, yeah, anyway, that's enough about corporate secrets. I don't get them. They don't get the mindset. I kind of do, but I feel like it's a culture of wanting the ability to dick people over. Let's just be honest about your shit, man.